All right, good afternoon, everybody. We're here to wish somebody, one of my favorite people in the world, a happy retirement. Yeah. And we have a couple of special guests that are going to say a few words. Key there, boys, few words. Okay? Mr. Hawkins, you're right here, buddy.
We have a citation for you.
I'm usually giving them, not getting them, guys. I don't know about
And
this.
I've got to say, it's right to leave. You have contributed so much to the community, and so many people have gained so much from your hard work and your enthusiasm and passion for people who need it the most. And thank you so much for your years of service.
And you. And you. Thank you.
Senator Feeney?
Wow, look at this. Lisa, look at all these signs. Huh? Look at all the creativity.
Oh, they can't wait, huh?
Well, not to be outdone from our friends in the House.
Oh, Senate always has bigger ones.
We always have the biggest citation. Senator Heroux and I are very proud to offer this Senate citation to recognize your many, many years of dedicated and committed service. Lisa, I just want to say, you know, when I first got elected, I don't know if a lot of people realize, I get pretty nervous before I get up in front of crowds and speak and go to these events. And I would always come down and I'd see Lisa. And Lisa would always be there with a pat in the back and a comforting word. And she'd always say, Senator, just be you. You got this. Go ahead. Go up and be you. And right then I said, oh my God, who is this person? to get me, you know, instilled with confidence before I'd get up and speak. And then we started working closely with her. And every single time I called because somebody in the district needed help, Lisa went to bat for them. And every time I called for a little bit of advice to see how we should do something, Lisa was right there and said, Paul, here's how you do it. And it didn't matter who it was, who we were trying to get help for, she stepped up and did that. And she had a really, really tough legacy to fill, working for two incredible bosses, and very challenging bosses, by the way, at times. But to live up to those standards, she did it and then some. Lisa, your legacy is absolutely incredible here in this region and in this district and across the Commonwealth. I can't thank you enough for everything you've done for so many people. So congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Miss you.
Okay, Congressman.
Whether it was workers at Texas Instruments, whether it was working with the chamber and trying to make sure that PPP loans were delivered, whether it was working with our local hospitals for PPE, no matter what it was, literally no matter what, Lisa was always there. And Larry, I want to thank you and your family too. Because the number of nights and weekends and vacations and everything else that you and your family gave to all of us so that we could have her. Thank you for sharing her with this entire community and literally the thousands of people whose lives she helped make better are represented by the people here this afternoon. And I have had the incredible honor time and again to have met some of those folks. Whether it was immigration issues or bills that needed to get paid or just literally sometimes a hand to hold and a shoulder to cry. Thank you will never be enough, Lisa, but it's what I have to offer at the moment. Thank you. Now Lisa's new boss, well, now it's her old boss. Congressman?
Wait a minute, I just saw one.
Joe got her for 8 years. I only have her for 3 months, but it's enough time to know what an incredible person, what an incredible public servant Lisa is. And I want to read what we have submitted to the Congressional record to mark her service and her time in the Massachusetts 4th. It is my honor and privilege to recognize Lisa Nelson on the occasion of her retirement after 15 years of dedicated service to the Massachusetts 4th Congressional District and innumerable years of service to the community at large. Lisa was born and raised in Attleboro, Massachusetts. After graduating from Attleboro High School and Wheaton College, she inspired children by beginning her career as a 5th grade teacher. After transitioning into a career of inspiring her own children at home, Lisa would eventually start her own business doing real estate appraisals. All throughout Lisa's commitment to the Attleboro area has never wavered. She was the first woman to be appointed as fire commissioner for the city of Attleboro, and recently served a term on the city board of assessors. She sat on the Attleboro Tricentennial Committee and has had multiple positions on boards of director for community organizations such as Big Brothers Big Sisters, New Hope, the Sturdy Memorial Hospital Foundation, and Attleboro Enterprises, working to improve the lives of some of those most vulnerable populations. Lisa is also active not only within her own church, but with the Attleboro Area Interfaith Collaborative, which is a significant resource in addressing food insecurity in the area. Lisa began her tenure in the House in 2006, serving as a district representative for Congressman Jim McGovern, when his district included the city of Attleboro. Most recently, she served as a district director for Congressman Joe Kennedy and a senior advisor with my office. And just as a side here, when I first took office after the election last November, I called Joe multiple times for advice on a range of things. I called Jim McGovern multiple times for advice on a range of things. And both of them said, without question, they said, well, you're keeping Lisa, right? Like, that's, you know, there's tons of things you got to think about, but that's not one of them. In a job that can have a share of difficult decisions, choosing to work with Lisa Nelson just is not one of them. Lisa approaches constituent services with an extraordinary amount of empathy and kindness. She is a trusted mentor to those she works with, and 3 members of Congress have come to rely on her knowledge of the district, its needs, and navigating the challenges of the federal system. She is a true representative of the values of public service. I want to say that again. She is a true representative of the values of public service. In only 3 months, I have learned from her what true dedication means. I have seen her work weekends, I have seen her work nights, I have seen her listen with compassion and deliver with discipline and execution. It is difficult to truly capture the impact that Lisa has made for this office, district, and countless constituents and their families, but suffice to say that her contributions will be missed. Though for those of us that know Lisa, we know those contributions will never end. This will be in the Congressional record for all time as just one small hallmark of Lisa Nelson's service. Thank you, Lisa.
The thing about Lisa, the first thing that comes to mind is 508-431-1110. Because more times than I can remember, I've given out that phone number to direct people to Lisa because she's competent, hardworking, caring, tough. You know, she's everything that Attleboro needs, and she is not really going anywhere. She's still going to be living here. She's on the Board of Assessors in Attleboro, and she's an excellent asset to us all. But, you know, thank you all for coming out to see Lisa, to say thank you. And Lisa, you know, thank you so much. And if you want to continue getting breakfast at Morin's from time to time, we can still do that. So, yeah,
that's a great idea.
Very good. Thank you, Lisa.
Thanks.
Now, how about a few words from our special guest? She's hating me right now. She really is.
I don't know what to say. It's just so great to see you all, and you are what makes 15 years go by in the blink of an eye. There's just so many people here that do so many wonderful things. I think about the Hakamakwa. And no, by the way, Sturdy Hospital did not pay me to wear their mask. I just happened to have this mask today. So you're welcome, Joe Casey, just saying. But it's because of you all. You fill my heart, you fill my soul. It's just great to be working for you. And you know, when you start this job, Keith was our intern. He's now the chief of staff for Senator Feeney. Good choice. You don't really know what you're doing, but you do the best job you can. And you learn quickly. When I worked for Jim McGovern, the very first thing we did was we went over to the Council on Aging, to the Senior Center. And he had a little speech that he gave and everything. And as we walked out, he looks at me and he goes, "So was that okay?" And I was like, "You're asking me?" Yeah, it was great. You hit all the points. You know, you just know to say, you know, you encourage people and all that. But the best part was working with all of you. And if I could get the congressman to help in any way that I could for some of the things that are so important to you, that was important to me as well. I loved my years being on the Fire Commission. That was just an incredible experience. And I've been blessed to have all of you in my lives and all the experiences that you have given me. And we're not giving up, not dying, just retiring. And hopefully, there's Amanda on the phone over there with a little baby that's going to need some care pretty soon. So that's what I'll be doing sooner rather than later. So just thank you all for coming. You just blew me away. I love you all, and thank you for being here.